Hi folks, you're with Tacitus Today at your Pushback channel. This essay is about interviewing and hiring millennials imbued with equal outcome ideology. Education systems across the West have literally turned themselves inside out, pushing women into STEM courses such as engineering. It's affirmative action on high-octane steroids. So, how's it all working out? How do these women fare in real-world, real-life interviews outside of the SJW equal outcome bubble they've lived and studied in? I have been on many interview panels, so I can offer a first-hand perspective. For entitled millennials, this is where the rubber meets the road. The example used here is the hiring of trainee civil engineer project managers. So kids who are or have graduated over the last 12 months are really drawn into this one. The super woke HR department, with an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez speaker-like as HR director, has made sure we have a seriously diverse pool of applicants to interview, close to an exact gender and racial balance of 14 job candidates for 2 positions. You know, it's obvious within moments of starting the interview, the folks who have earned their degree by hard work, application, diligence, mastery of subject, and who accept a pass or fail merit-based world. It is also equally obvious those who have been gifted a no-merit affirmative action degree and who see any form of merit as completely alien, if not an unspeakable impost representing the evil white male patriarchy. All the applicants were required to answer some general questions about engineering and perform some basic volumetric math calculations. Engineering field operatives, particularly in the areas of exploration, are often without internet access, so the capacity to do calculations manually in remote conditions can be paramount from time to time. But it got ugly. The affirmative action quota degree holders just embarrassed themselves. All of the white males met the criteria quickly and easily. They had learned well and understood all the basics of engineering. Of the 3 males where English was not their first language, one did very well and the others missed the mark, or one missed the mark but not by much, and the third was just an affirmative action quota stooge and knew nothing. Yet of all the young women applicants, not one met the criteria, and not one could do any of the maths required. Some even refused to do the math or answer the more difficult questions. They realised that they couldn't answer them and they didn't know. To illustrate the absurd cultural Marxist nonsense these gender quota fillers' heads are stuffed with, some argued that to even ask them job-specific questions was a white male plot to put them down. Maths questions were inherently misogynist, one claimed. They should be asked easier questions than the boys. It's only fair. Is it? It is not a stretch today that more than half the female candidates were living in a childlike fantasy world of entitlement and leftist talking points. This just shows what crap they get away with and goes unchallenged in the insane bubble that are modern universities. To further illustrate just how barking mad the universities have become, all the girls had better credentials than the boys. They had high distinctions everywhere you looked, which one assumes artificially got them first-round interviews most of the time. And that's all good until these applicants opened their mouths at interview. Even the least qualified and most affirmative action female candidate had a better degree than the most impressive male candidate. Unqualified people are not only being given degrees they have not even come close to earning, but they're also being handed out credentials of the first rank, along with gender quota-driven prizes and accolades. A young woman who'd been gifted the college engineering prize of that year, which suggests the most high-achieving student, stared dumbly at the panel when asked the value of pi. Being a mid-sized private business and not subject to the same level of quotas as, say, a government department or a major multinational, the CEO, based on advice, chose to hire 2 of the males. The Ocasio-Cortez speaker-like HR operative made a half-assed effort to convince the CEO that hiring an unqualified female was good for gender diversity, but it fell flat. Gender diversity degrees can be gifted to subpar students, and that's easy to do, but it shows up big time at interview. These gender diversity degree holders are swanning around burdened with fancying themselves as high-powered engineers deserving of the prestige and big bucks that goes with being the best. And when they don't get it, they cry misogyny and patriarchy, all the while fretting over how they're going to pay back sizable student loans. The whole thing is a mug's game, and in the end quite cruel to those low IQ flunkies who are nothing more than cannon fodder toys to all the twisted social engineers who use them up with infantile games in pursuit of a Marxist paradise that doesn't exist. And what of the people who are qualified for the roles that these unqualified people inevitably get. It adds to our cost of living and reduces our standard of living. You've been with Tacitus Today, and we hope you found this essay informative, and thank you for watching.